The plan today when I woke up was to speak to a linebacker today. And guess what? What I can guarantee you is that we will be speaking about a linebacker for sure. Okay, we are in, communication. We're reaching out. All right, we are here, and we will be talking football like we always do. It is Thursday. It is 3:15 p.m. All right, so we are here. It's your guys. It's Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right, yeah. Come on in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! There you go!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi, and you already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Right here, you guys know him well. He is the boy who became king. He is the one and only Mr. Paul Esden Jr. Okay, and this was we got a special episode planned. There were news that dropped before we even, got to the table to get this episode going. So there is stuff to discuss, but before any of that, we got to ask how our boy is doing. Boy Green, talk to us.
I'm doing amazing. Absolutely exceptional. I could be doing even better. And we will get to that here immediately. As you can see, depending on how this is being viewed at this point, that if you're currently watching live, we're supposed to be joined by Giovanni Williams. He's the brother of Quinnen and Quincy. He is not currently on the Jets 91-man roster, but he did try out for the team, and we're curious to sort of talk about that whole process, his NFL journey, and things of that nature. We were in communication with Giovanni earlier this week about doing this interview, which is amazing, but we are waiting to hear back. So the door is open for Giovanni to join us at some point live during this show. So apologies to anybody that's trying to get Giovanni immediately here on the show. We're waiting for Giovanni. Hopefully he does join us, but to Wudi's point, the show must go on. We're supposed to start at 3 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday. So slightly delayed here. Apologies for that, but hopefully we can get started here with Giovanni in a little bit. But as we wait for that possibility to happen, and if it doesn't, we'll try to reschedule with Giovanni. You mentioned it, Wudi. Oh, captain, my captain, CJ Mosley. He's hanging up the cleats. He gave a very emotional 2-minute and 13-second video on his Instagram with highlights from the draft, his college career, his Ravens career, his Jets career, and just gave this message about his legacy and Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher messages. It just it revved the engine. It was pretty magical, pretty moving, and wow, Wudi, CJ Mosley, his career's over. It's sort of stunning.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that there was no team willing to sign him. I know he even contemplated, playing or coming back with COVID. He opted out. He's a smart man, right? So it kind of doesn't surprise me that you get it, you get out while you can, with all your faculties and stuff like that. Luke Kuechly, right, is somebody who I think of who was able to do the same. He really retired at the top of his powers. But for CJ Mosley, absolutely nothing but respect. As I said, very repeatedly, over and over, I wanted him to be a Jet this season, regardless of what happened with the extension and everything like that. I wanted to bring back the trio of CJ, Jamie and Sherwood, and Quincy Williams. Didn't matter who was, if we got to change the starters or anything like that, that's fine. But just to have that guy, that mind in the locker room was huge. Aaron Glenn hates people over the age of 27. And, I was hoping that he just went to a team that, would treat him better and, he can chase a ring. That's what he deserves. He is a type of player. He is a champion type player with a champion type heart and mind who deserved to be able to compete and win at the biggest stage. And unfortunately, our franchise did not take him anywhere close to that dance. So it's definitely a sad moment. I feel bad for him, but if he's comfortable walking away at this point, I can't drag him back. I just have no choice to accept it and wish him well.
Two things I'm disappointed by. Number one is what you just said, that his career is coming to an end. It's coming to an end because of injury. He missed games last year, both for a toe injury and a much more serious neck issue, which Rich Samiti reported was a herniated disc, which is very serious at any age, let alone his age. Happy birthday, CJ Mosley announced this on his birthday today. He turned 33 years of age today. So I'm disappointed for that every player wants to go out on their own terms. And clearly, at least for me, I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere, but just put the pieces together, people. Earlier this offseason, while CJ Mosley was doing his exit interviews and was still a member of the team, someone asked him, "Are you ready to retire?" And he said, "No, I've got ball left." And now, a few months later, he's retiring. I am led to believe Detective Paul Esden here, Jr. on the case, that the injuries were too much. And that's sad. And I'm not trying to break any news here. I think anyone can connect those dots. And to me, that's sad. Here's the other part to me that's sad. CJ Mosley was cut by the Jets. He was cut by the Jets in March before free agency. And I saw some people, because I did a quick video, because Boy Green Daily happened this morning, and then literally minutes after Boy Green Daily went off the air, the news hit that CJ Mosley was retiring. I'm like, son of a... So I did another quick video and put it up. It's like 5 minutes or something. And there was a commenter that went under that video and said, shame on Aaron Glenn. Another bad, CJ Mosley retiring makes Aaron Glenn look like an idiot, basically. And I just want to say this. That's not what I'm saying. But if CJ Mosley and the Jets had an honest conversation, sort of like with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, is there a world where you retire? Like, honestly, let's just be straight up with each other. Is that on the table? If it is, there's no point in us cutting you. Let's let you walk out of that door with your head high, and no one will ever know that we were going to cut you. You chose for your career to end this way. You walk out head high, you retire. Now, obviously not. He's playing for the Steelers. But like Mosley, I know he said he didn't want to retire, but if the Jets and him sat across the table and said, "Hey, man, do you think with this neck thing, do you think it's time to hang it up? We don't have to cut you. You're above that. You don't have to be cut. We don't have to do this. If you want to retire, and then it works out for everybody. You retire, head held high. You don't have to be cut and all that shit." That's the other part I'm disappointed with, because he gets cut and he obviously ends up not signing anywhere. And I'm like, man, great for us having a news nugget in June, selfishly, right? Instead of doing what we did, it would have been lost in the sauce with a bunch of other things. But that's the other thing I'm really disappointed by, Woody, because I don't think he's the kind of player with all the wonderful things you said that deserved to be cut. If there was a legitimate chance of retirement, and when you get a serious neck injury, it is, I just wish they would have allowed him to retire so that wouldn't have had to happen.
How can you're going to find zero argument from me? I criticized the decision then. I brought it up again now. You talk about your YouTube video. I also had one. We are live on Take Flight Talk. Nice. Sharon, actually, one of our faves, just commented on the short while you were just talking. She commented on the short, and she said he was a winner whether the Jets were or not. And damn,
is a great way to say it.
Yeah. Does that ring true? So, I wish for everything that he gave to us that he didn't have to give. He could have cut bait at any time, but didn't. I feel like he deserves all the flowers, all the praise, and definitely didn't deserve to be cut, especially, when you look at the other guys in that room and what he meant to them. I mean, Quincy would be the first one to tell you of, CJ's positive impact on his development, turning him into an all-pro. So, it's really, really tough to see. Super, super tough to see. But I think we also had a question.
We
question
do.
from the panel.
Yes, I do want to get to that. There's actually multiple things I want to get to here. First off, I do want to pivot to a not a new direction. It's about CJ Mosley, and we can have a debate about this topic. But before we do that, K Brock jumping in as a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club says how much money to sit next to Woody at the Jets Cowboys game. Now, let's provide proper context for this conversation. Okay, so Jets Cowboys, it'll be me, Woody. We're hosting a party. Shout out to Chef Kev. He's catering all the food. It'll be Sunday, October 5th, Jets Cowboys Week 5, MetLife Stadium. It's going to be a wonderful time. I've secured the tickets. We'll be sitting in 228A. Again, let's throw that up on the big screen. Hey, now, let's pull up your map or the Explorer. There you go. Left side of your screen is the full seating chart. Right side is zoomed in. We will be sitting in 228A, and I will be doling out the tickets in concert with Rudy in due time. We won't be rushing that process. That will be happening. I promise you guys will have those tickets in your mobile, quote-unquote, wallets, not your physical wallets. You'll be having that in due time. And a conversation the other day on Boy Green Daily was, so how much money to sit next to our dad, our pop? How much money would it cost? And I'm like, what? Like, that's a thing you guys want to bid on? Because I do a monthly giveaway here on the show. And enough people showed interest. I'm like, all right, I'll put it on the list. You guys can bid. It's probably for if the Jets are winning that you could give shit to my father immediately in the moment. But there's always the door open for it to go reverse Uno card on your ass. And that could be less popular. So that conversation started a couple of days ago, and we will do that giveaway in a couple of months. We have some big things planned. Me and Woody have a joint giveaway, as a matter of fact, coming up next month. I'm really excited about that. So now the conversation has expanded to other celebrities that may be among us in the group. And K Brock, the question, I'll throw it to Woody. How much money, to sit next to Woody at the Jets Cowboys game? Because quite frankly, only one person can. I imagine we'll be sitting together, but maybe if there's enough bidding, maybe not. Maybe I'll see you down the road. Woody! Maybe you'll be down the block, but I think we're sitting together. So that means only one more seat is available. How much scratch, Woody? Name your price. Let's talk money. Don't listen cents.
I mean, that's a great question. I don't even know if it is a bid. Then I guess we're gonna have to talk about the bid. But I would imagine, right off the bat, it's just the price of the ticket. It's just free. I don't think if you want to throw $1 on top of it, to guarantee your
if other people are competing, maybe not. Maybe
so that's what I'm saying. So if there's somebody else out there, let me know. I got $1, $2, $3, $4.
Okay, we'll do one of those. Okay, nice.
Yeah, we auction it, but as of right now, to my knowledge, it's not much. It's not much to get this.
K Brock, you are the first person to ask this question specifically for Woody, and we'll see how many others step up to the plate. And again, obviously, any of our 50, technically that would be possible. So more on that to come. Well, obviously, we got a couple of people that are in the mix for that. Bubba Badshaw says, how much money does Woody owe me at the tailgate? Woody?
That remains to be seen.
Okay, TBD. Alrighty. There we go. Very nice. Badshaw, by the way, said, Johnny, did CJ play with the Jets longer than the Ravens? Technically, yes. He did suit up for the Jets longer than the Ravens. Obviously, you could factor in the injury, the COVID year, and things of that nature. Yes, he has, technically speaking here. So that is true. Now, here's what I have to Johnny Boy, what's the going rate to sit next to EZ? I'll keep you guys posted on that. Also, again, I want to give another reminder before we get into this topic. Woody, get your boxing gloves ready for this next topic. I have no idea where you're going to sit on this.
Yeah, I don't think we need to box. Maybe we'll have
but we'll see. I have no idea. Again, folks that may just be joining us here on the show, again, we plan to have Giovanni Williams, the brother of Quinton and Quincy, here. He had a Jets tryout. He is not currently on the Jets roster, but he had a Jets tryout. He's obviously chasing the ultimate NFL dream, which, is beautiful. And I'd love to talk to Giovanni about that. We'll see if we're able to get him on the show. We were scheduled to have him on the show. We're supposed to have him on the show. I have not heard yet from Giovanni on the delay, so not sure if or when he's going to be able to make the show today. Hopefully he can. If he cannot, we'll be rescheduling this, hopefully, for the very near future. So fingers crossed on that. But Woody, the topic while we're waiting and potentially not having Gio on the show, that's the conversation that is evolving in our comment section. and I want to lay it here because I wrote about this in the immediate aftermath of CJ Mosley signing, and I've also wrote a piece about this earlier this offseason. Should CJ Mosley be in the conversation for the Ring of Honor for the Jets? And for those who don't know, that are less inclined, the Ring of Honor is essentially the Hall of Fame for your team. That's really what it is. Okay? It's your team Hall of Fame. And I see comments saying yes. I see comments saying hell no. And a lot of passionate people out there in the universe. Before I even reveal my case, Wudi, why don't you start us off? CJ Mosley, does he deserve to be on the ballot to be discussed for the Jets Ring of Honor? CJ Mosley, what say you, James Wudi?
I've seen it. I've seen it a couple times already. And hey, if there's one person I usually, disagree with, it is, we've had him on the show. It's Indy Jets out here talking about all this, what the helly, all that type of stuff. But what he said was, won't be. I understand if he doesn't make the Ring of Honor, but also would support it if he did make it. And if it was up to me, right? If James Wudi, is he in or is he out? I'm going to say he's out, which sounds hypocritical based on everything I just said.
Yeah.
But no, he was a great player. Like I said, deserves his flowers, deserves all the love, everything that he gave up for us to help the team succeed. But if we're talking about the bottom line, the team didn't succeed. I don't think anyone really deserves honor for the last 15 years, 10 years, I'll say 10 years of football that we've been forced, sometimes like this, just people holding up our eyes, forced to watch. It's just a bad time for the team. I think, you look around the league or even look around other leagues, it's very rare that somebody who was great for a bad team, is featured. And despite him being great for a bad team, you can make the argument that he wasn't the greatest, right? Quincy Williams was a first team All-Pro with the Jets. CJ Mosley was not. Like that line of thinking. So I would say no. I don't think there's really a strong case to say, oh, let's make him the. Oh, damn! We got.
We're about to get the boxing gloves on.
Okay, all right. We can box. Yeah, I just don't. That's. I feel like that's like a participation award. Like, Oh my God!
No, wow!
All right.
Wow!
Okay. All right. You
damn. Okay.
No, but like everyone said, we love CJ. There's no disrespect. It's nothing. But what do you mean? There's all right. You can say your point.
There are two things you said that are incredibly disrespectful. Okay.
Barry Sanders made the play. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. You're getting feisty with the comment section and rein it back in. What are you? Whoa, hey, whoa. Yeah, sit. Okay, we'll get there. Okay. So, number one, that you don't believe a strong case can be made. Well, prepare for the case to be made. Hello, I'm Paul Eston Jr. We'll do that in just a second. And the other part of it is I actually have the Ring of Honor in front of me, and I can explain it to people too. So the Ring of Honor has not. Let me ask you, trivia time, Woody. We won't play the music. When do you think the Ring of Honor was even created by the Jets?
Oh, damn! 1989.
2010.
Damn! What the
15 years
late
ago.
to the party.
Okay.
Late to the party.
And that's what I mean, right? Like people are assume the 80s, the 70s. I don't know. 2010, 15 years ago, as a matter of fact, is when the Ring of Honor was created by the Jets. Here are the rules. Okay. The Jets established the Ring of Honor in July of 2010 to commemorate former players. Each season, players will be nominated by an internal committee and then inducted into the Ring of Honor. There is no specific amount of honorees to be selected each year. In other words, if someone's not worthy, they're not just going to shove a class out there on a year-to-year basis. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I have this correct. I'm pretty sure I do. All right, let me double check my numbers. We have not had someone inducted since 2022. It's been 3 years since we've even had someone inducted. And in 2022, of course, we had the triplets. We had Nick Mangold, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and Darrell Revis. Okay, we had a group that was inducted at that point. The group that was inducted in 2022 was the first time that we had an induction in 5 years. Before that, the last induction was 2017. So again, it doesn't happen every year, and it's been a long time since someone's been inducted on a consistent basis. That's all the Jets made up rules. They can make up whatever rules they want to. And again, the overall Ring of Honor has only been in stock, lock, and barrel since 2010. Okay. And here are the members. That would be a fun trivia, but I won't make you do it, Woody. Here are the members of the Jets Ring of Honor. I think that also establishes what we're kind of talking about here. Okay. Joe Namath, of course. Curtis Martin, of course. Joe Klecko. And this is in no particular order, by the way. I'm just reading them as they are on the sheet. Joe Namath, and I'll even give some extra here. Joe Namath was inducted in 2010. Of course, no other introduction needed. Curtis Martin, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and so is Namath, by the way. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 members of the Jets Ring of Honor are also in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That is Joe Namath, quarterback, Curtis Martin, running back, Joe Klecko, defensive lineman, Don Maynard, wide receiver, Winston Hill, offensive tackle, Weeb Eubank, who's a coach, Kevin Mawai, the offensive lineman, a.k.a. center, and Darrell Revis. Those are the members that are both in the Ring of Honor and Hall of Fame together. Okay, and there's a bunch that are just in the Jets Ring of Honor, but not in anything else. Larry Grantham, former Super Bowl linebacker for the Jets. Freeman McNeil, Fleur Lilly, shout out to you earlier. You met Freeman McNeil. There's a great story earlier today, the running back. Wesley Walker, the wide receiver. Marty Lyons, part of the New York Sack Exchange as well. Throw him in there, all those wonderful guys. Leon Hess, former owner of the Jets. Matt Snell, Super Bowl running back. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, as we mentioned, he recently went in. Jerry Philbin, okay, Super Bowl defensive lineman. Al Toon, the wide receiver. Mark Gastineau, New York Sack Exchange. Wayne Corbett, wide receiver. Emerson Boozer, Super Bowl running back. And then Nick Mangold. That is the entire class of the New York Jets Ring of Honor. Now, you'll notice in this Ring of Honor, there are Pro Football Hall of Famers, there's Pro Bowlers, and then there's guys that just had an impact on the franchise. For instance, let me bring one of them up here. I want to make sure I have my stats correct here as I bring up this guy that's in here as I'm about to make the pitch. Everyone loves this guy. Everyone loves this guy. Let me see if he had anything. I don't even think he did. He did not. Perfect. Okay, he's exactly what I thought he was. Wayne Corbett. Never made a Pro Bowl. Never made an All-Pro. Never made anything. But to the Jets, he was our Rudy. He was our little guy that overcame the obstacles and did all these wonderful things, and a Hofstra product, undrafted free agent, carved his path, and only ever played for the Jets 95 to 2005. And he made it in there. If Wayne Corbett, with all due respect, can make it in there for his impact on the Jets, I think C.J. Mosley can. And that's not even my pitch. That's just sort of how it went with us naming the Ring of Honor members. Here's a stat. C.J. Mosley from 2020, let me make sure I get 1, 2, 3. Yeah, from 2021 through 2023, had 150 tackles in each of those seasons for the New York Jets. Woody, do you know how many other linebackers in NFL history have had 150 plus tackles in 3 straight seasons?
I'm still trying to process the disrespect that you just had for Wayne Corbett right now.
Okay. Sure.
Because we experienced success with Wayne.
But why does that matter? Maybe that's what I'm not understanding. Why
does that matter that the team was successful?
Well, is the Ring of Honor for people that had success? The Ring of Honor is individual success, is it not?
The way I see it, no, actually, yes, it's obviously honoring individuals, but individuals who had an impact on the team's success. We're trying to highlight great times for Jets success.
Okay, go ahead.
Very simply enough, no one, I'm not even trying to single out CJ. I'm saying no one in the last 10 years, we haven't had success. No one's cared. The impact on the team, it simply has not been enough because it's a downtime. I think somebody said, if we induct CJ, we might as well induct Robbie Anderson, Sun God. I'm not going to say something drastic like that, but that's kind of what we're talking about is, good player, bad time for the team, not the best at his position during the time. But great for the Jets, which is cool. But there's a lot of players like that.
So here's a guy who's in the Ring of Honor, and he challenges what you just said. Al Toon. And again, I don't want to turn this into a bashing session, but you mentioned like individual success and team success. Al Toon was with the Jets from 1985 through 1992. The Jets during that time, here are some of the records across those seasons: 6-9, 8-7-1, 4-12, 6-10, 8-8, 4-12. That doesn't sound like great team success. Yet we all love Al Toon. And again, I love Al Toon, but I'm just doing it to the argument you just said. They had shitty success. He's in the Ring of Honor. What about him?
Yeah, I mean, yes, downtime, but you're gonna say that, like, here's my point.
Okay, please.
Is that in downtimes, right? Like a prolonged downtime. CJ had what 3-4 seasons as a right, because we're talking about he got injured one year, was injured last year, COVID year that year. So we're talking about 3-4 seasons, all of them bad for the Jets, versus Al Toon, who was pretty steady, was a Jet for 7 years and like played those years. I think that's a little bit different. Again, the impact that he's had on the team. So I would definitely again defend Al Toon.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Like we said, if CJ goes in, like, I'm not gonna be mad that CJ winning. How dare they? How dare they? No one's gonna be mad. I'm just saying, I if it was up to me, I don't think he like he wouldn't get my vote. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Can we go back, because you ignored my trivia question, which is very rude, by the way. We're trying to have a nice conversation here. I don't like when you ignore me. I don't like when anyone ignores me. How many linebackers in NFL history have had 3 straight years of 150 plus tackles? How many linebackers do you think are on that list, Woody?
3.
2. CJ Mosley and one other guy. Those are the only 2 in the entire history of the National Football League that have had 3 straight seasons of 150 plus tackles. And where I would like to, if I had a laser pointer, go to Exhibit B here, right? Because you've brought up longevity a few times on some of these guys, right? Wayne Corbett, 10 plus years, right? 95 to 2005. He's here for 10 years. Al Toon, 85 to 92. A lot of years, right? To me, what about Gale Sayers? He played 6 seasons. 6 seasons in the National Football League. The Kansas Comet. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. TD, less than 10 years in the National Football League. He is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, obviously, the majority of people that are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame had very long careers, and they had a very, the path is clear. Some people, the path is not as clear. Gale Sayers and TD are 2 off the top of my head that I would like to highlight. There's even more than that, but I'll highlight those 2. CJ Mosley may not have punched in his card at the employee Walmart shop when he came in. 7 o'clock. I'm here again. And then a year later, I'm here again. Okay. He did not go on that incredibly long run. That is true. But the impact he had in a short period of time was so impactful statistically that no other Jets linebacker, and by the way, the Jets have had a rich history of awesome Jet linebackers, and I've seen some of them commented. David Harris, Mo Lewis. I mean, we could get Larry Grantham, who is in the Ring of Honor. So many wonderful Jets linebackers they've had. They've had a very rich history at linebacker. Did the New York Jets. CJ Mosley has accomplished more than any of them in a short period of time. His quality over quantity is greater than any Jets linebacker in history by the numbers. That's not an opinion. That is a matter of fact. So the point is that I'm not saying it's a slam dunk. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think that he should legitimately be in the conversation. And there are several people, yourself included, unless something has changed, which why wouldn't it change with all my wonderful facts and statistics? It would woo anybody, quite frankly. So, but I think he should legitimately be in the conversation. It's a chat. And some people are hearing the list of Ring of Honor members went, whoa. This guy isn't in. This guy isn't in. No, some of those people you're mentioning are not in. It's a short list. And again, the list has only been going for 15 years. That's when the Jets started this. But I'm just telling you that CJ Mosley should legitimately be in the conversation, not because of the quantity, because of the quality, which competes against any Jets linebacker in team history.
Well, like I said, I thought I made it clear, but I guess not.
All right.
And I never said he's not in the conversation. I've said consistently each time. The last thing I say is that if I was voting, I would vote no. Is he in the conversation? Yeah, we already said that part. We already said.
No. I think it's worth bringing up, even not just for you, Woody. There are people in the chat that think it's ridiculous that we're even talking about this. Not just in this live chat, but in chats before. My article that is up on heavy.com, there are comments under it that say, what in God's green earth are you talking about? He is nowhere near even sniffing the conversation. So you're saying that that's sort of established. Apparently not. Apparently not.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't let those people hurt you, Boy Green. Don't let those people hurt you. Don't listen to them, Boy Green. Okay. Yes, he's in the conversation. It's fine. It's fine. Take a breath. Look at this. Look at it. Were you with me? Were you with me?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, good.
Your camera's sort of jumping a little bit, so I'm not quite on the exact same breathing yoga plan that you're on, but yes, I get the gist. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth a conversation. Like I said, ultimately, I probably wouldn't. Seems like you probably would, but to have a conversation. Yeah,
But what is your counter to that, though? Okay, so we established we both can agree that he should be in the conversation. Yes, I say only one other NFL linebacker, not Jets linebacker, only one other NFL linebacker has accomplished the same thing that CJ Mosley did from 2021 and 2022 and 2023 over a 3 consecutive season run. Only one other NFL linebacker in history has ever accomplished that. And I say quality versus quantity. And your response is what? Like that seems like a pretty nice feather in the cap.
I mean, yeah, that's nice. That's one stat. I mean, that's one.
One?
Yeah. Is that not one stat? We're talking about tackle numbers, right?
Yeah. Which our father loves tackle numbers. He's a big.
So yeah, that's one. That's one stat. So the fact that he was good at that one stat. I mean, that's an accomplishment. That doesn't linebackers aren't just tackles. That's not the only way to measure a linebacker. So yes, kudos on that one stat. Kudos on the 3 years. I mean, obviously, like I said, fantastic player, one of the better players in the league for his entire career, not just his Jets time, but the Ravens time as well. But yeah, we're talking about 3 years of moderate success.
Moderate. Ooh.
I mean, it is what it is. Like that's
moderate is insulting. Moderate is insulting.
I would respectfully disagree.
I would respectfully disagree with your disagreement.
Okay.
Moderate to what? Like he was a second team All Pro. How many? Do you know how many linebackers get voted a second team All Pro? That seems like a little bit more than moderate.
No, like that's second team. Like he wasn't first team. Right, you can make the argument. What do you mean?
I'm not calling him the best, though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think the conversation is somehow split here. I'm not saying CJ Mosley was unquestionably the best linebacker in football his entire career, and why are we even having this debate? That's not what I'm saying.
But you kind of did say, he's unquestionably the best. He's better than every single linebacker the Jets have ever had. You did say that.
He has had more. What I said is, because
of this one tackle
may be difficult.
Listening
may be difficult for you, Woody. Listening may be difficult. But I said he's the most productive Jets linebacker over a 3-year stretch in team history, and it goes beyond tackles. Tackles is the stat. Which I would imagine is the most important stat for a linebacker, by the way. But that's not the only stat. That's just the one I'm choosing to highlight. I'm not saying he's only registered tackles and no other impactful stats. We could get into all of those, which are all available, profootballreference.com, that we could get to. But no, he is, in fact, not opinion, the most productive Jets linebacker for tackles. I'm not saying he's the most productive Jets linebacker in assisted tackles. I'm not going niche. Tackles is a very common stat that people all look at and count and use in all kinds of conversations. I'm picking the biggest thing that a linebacker has that is a tangible stat to look at. He's more productive than any Jets linebacker ever, and they've had a lot of really good linebackers. Yes.
Yeah, so great tackling. Good job.
But what about the other stats?
Got a second team All Pro, right?
Yeah.
We've seen guys get first team All Pros. It's subjective, and it doesn't seem like you're accepting that other people can see it differently, right? Like that's just how it is. When you look at the trophy case, right? I like Quincy. I would rather have Quincy's trophy than CJ's trophy. Does that sound weird to you? Does that not make sense?
That completely sounds weird. That you
would.
That
so second place. So first is the worst and second is the best. Is that what you're saying?
So you're saying if right now you would rather have, based on the careers that they have given to the Jets, you would rather have Quincy Williams over CJ Mosley, is what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that the trophy case, if you're talking about trophies, one has one has the other.
So one is better than the other.
No.
I get that you're saying one's a first team.
There's different ways to look at it. Jets Worldwide said it best, right? There's many ways to measure men. You found one way, right? The tackles, and because you found the tackles, you're saying, there's no other way to look at it. But I'm trying to tell you that there's another way to look at it,
which is what?
But you're not. By the trophy
what
case,
am I not saying?
Like someone can.
But that's one thing. Okay, we're going one.
But you're talking about one thing. You're talking about one thing.
How many people get voted an All-Pro every year, Woody?
4, right? There's like 2 first,
AFC, NFC, and some reserves, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, sure, right. Okay, so 4 every year. The tackle stat just is one that I am bringing up in comparison because now we're comparing directly from first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro versus the tackle stat I brought up. 2 players in the history of the game have had that tackle stat. The All-Pro, 4 get picked every year. CJ Mosley, once with the Jets, was one of the 4. That's what I'm not understanding how these two things are correlated. I understand that multiple things can be debated in a thing. That I'm not saying this tackle thing is the only thing that can be conversated because, again, CJ Mosley has all kinds of other stuff. He has 12 sacks in his career. He has interceptions in his 12 interceptions. He has fumble recoveries. He has pressure rate. He has 55 tackles for loss. There's a million stats we can look at for CJ Mosley to indicate of the kind of player that he was.
Yeah, but you're tunnel focus on this one tackle stat and saying because of this tackle stat, he is the best. He deserves this spot.
So let's say they neutralize, right? So you say your All-Pro thing versus my tackle thing. Fine. Let's wipe them both off the board. Now what? What's your other criticism, for lack of a better word, for why Mosley doesn't deserve to be in is what?
Like I said, it's 3 very strong years.
Okay.
On a terrible era of the franchise. I mean, you find people that have been on a terrible era, or been part of a terrible era, but they were there for 7-8 years.
What difference does that make? There
short. What?
So CJ Mosley was on terrible Jets. We can both agree with that. The stats back that up. You give more credit to, again, Altoon. You give more credit to him. He was just on a shittier Jets team for longer, so he gets the tip of the cap. I don't understand why longevity from, which, by the way, let's get the official numbers, right? Let's do the math on that. Where are we on Altoon? So 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. So he was on the Jets for 8 years, okay? CJ Mosley was on the Jets. All right, we got it right here. He was on the Jets for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 2 years less than Altoon, and that means some dramatic difference to you. That's what I'm not understanding. 6 years, 8 years. 8 years. Oh, Altoon, you're in the club. How long have you been a Jet? Oh, 8 years? Oh, you sort of the team was sort of shitty for most of your time there? Oh, well, you're in. Sorry, Junior, you're not in.
How was 6 years? CJ Mosley, he literally did not play more than 2 games in like 3 years. Is that not true?
The years he signed with the Jets in 2019, and he just left the Jets in 2025. What are you talking about?
That he did not play for 3 of those seasons. Do you know what playing means? Like being on the field?
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's pull up this since we want to get into games played category. Sure. All right. Let's pull this up for old Altoon. So, are you going to dock Altoon for games started and missed then during his career? If that's now we're getting into that field goal contest.
So Altoon has literally played in at least 9 games in 7 years. CJ Mosley has done that in 3 years. He's done that in 3 years. So that is not it's not 8 and 6. It's 3, which is what I've said multiple times.
You made a joke earlier about participation trophy, yet we're counting participation trophy up. Games attended here. Altoon, check. CJ Mosley, no. That's another part that I'm not understanding. We talk about participation trophies all the time, just being around. And again, I want to go back to the beginning of this, that I don't want to bash anyone. Altoon just happens to be the guy that unfortunately is catching stray bullets here as we're trying to figure out who is worthy of getting into the clubhouse here. And I feel terrible because I love Altoon, but he just has been the one that's getting under the spotlight here. That's just not what I'm understanding. What do you say to Gale Sayers in his 6 years of getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? What about TD, his 7 years of getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? How do they count any different?
So people can have success for a short period of time, right? Or they can be, there for a long period of time and do their service, right? Which is what we're talking about. But CJ Mosley played 3 years. I don't care how long he was under contract. He played 3. There was 3 seasons that he played in more than 2 games. All right, and he was good. I'm not saying he was bad or anything like that. He was good, but he was not great, and the team wasn't great. Like it's just as simple as that. Like I'm not even trying to complicate it. It's very simple, very very simple. If 3 years it's all it takes in your mind, then we know where you vote. But I'm just saying, for my vote, 3 years is not enough.
How many years is? I just want to know for the future when we have another one of these debates, and I'm like, look at the scorecard, and I'm looking at them. I just want to make sure who is allowed in the club, who's allowed in the conversation of the club based on that. That's what I would just like to know. So what is that number then? If it's not 3 years,
it's not a set number, because exactly what we're trying to say. If it's 3, if somebody is a Super Bowl MVP 3 years in a row, of course they deserve a spot. But that's not what we're not even close to that. We're not talking anything about that. We're talking about 3 good years, but you're harping on this one tackle stat, which you probably think is the equivalent of 3 Super Bowl MVP. I'm just saying it's 3 good years. Thank you. Thank you for 3 good years. You're our guy. Oh, captain, my captain.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess so. Also, the Super Bowl thing I don't get, because that's a team success stat, which I guess is some weird, like it only counts for you in certain scenarios in the team success. Like I said, which we brought up with, there's several Jets that are in this Ring of Honor that did not have team success during their careers. There's several that did. There's whether they made the playoffs a bunch or they went to the Super Bowl. There's a lot of Super Bowl representation, and for good reason, on this list. But there are several Jets on here that did not have that success on the field, which again, for Kevin White is a bad example because they had the AFC Championship game when he came over and things of that nature. But I'm just bringing up whoever the random person is for a significant period of time. If a center is really Nick Mangold, there you go. Nick Mangold, who was here for a long time of Jets, if they made the Super Bowl or not made the Super Bowl, that's not really on. Sorry, Nick. If you were a little better, we would have been in the Super Bowl 3 times. Like, Nick Mangold was awesome, and he did his job, but there's 52 other players that are involved here.
And that's where other factors come in. Like, well, that's what I'm saying. It's about the impact on the team. If you're there a long time, doing your thing, grinding. One of the questions was, if Garrett Wilson plays, for the next however many years and gets 1,000 yards every year. Like, yeah, right? He's been here. He's did his time. We're talking about 3 years where, wasn't, that's what I'm saying, wasn't spectacular, wasn't, the best of the best. And the team, it's not like a fond, memory of the team to say, oh, we got to highlight somebody from these classic teams. So yeah, I think it's very simple. There is no one else on the Ring of Honor to play that few seasons. The team was not that good. That's simple. 3 seasons.
Yeah, Badshaw is right here. Giovanni's been sitting here the last 45 minutes going, what in God's green earth? I thought we were doing my journey? What are you guys arguing about anymore? I don't know. So sorry, Giovanni. We apologize for that.
Yes. Well, I mean, hopefully we can get that rescheduled. I was definitely looking forward. We had some awesome things planned. Yeah, we'll have to get back in touch and get that going for a different time.
Unfortunately, our show will be coming to an end here. Thank you to the 200 people that watch live. Unfortunately, Giovanni was not able to join us. If you are watching on YouTube, like the video, hit subscribe. We'll be changing all this, so it may be Men in Black for a lot of you that I reference a headline that no longer exists, so you never saw it, so I don't know how that's going to work, but thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another Boy Green Meets Wudi. Again, apologies for the promise of a Giovanni Williams interview. Hopefully, we'll be able to reschedule it. Something must have come up here for Giovanni, which is too bad. But we'll definitely work on rescheduling that for the future because, again, as Woody said, we had a lot of fun stuff planned. I'm actually about to head to Pittsburgh for another trip in Pennsylvania. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we've got obviously nothing but time, Woody. We're a month away from rookie Jets reporting to training camp. We're a month away. So we should have plenty of availability to put that through. So I'm looking forward to that. So fun chat, Woody, for sure. And we'll have to check back in on this next week.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to talk football with my guys. Everybody in the comments, who have my back, tell me to stand strong. We out here. You already know what it's about, what time it is. And, as for, CJ Mosley, wish you the absolute best in retirement. Oh, captain, my captain, for real. Wish you were still on the team. If I had seen Aaron Glenn with these scissors, I would have snatched them out of his hands so fast and threw him on the ground because I wanted you on the team this season. But, wish you well in that next chapter. And for us, the next chapter is next week where we will still be talking football, having a great time with you guys.
Again, Mosley, congrats on retirement. Wish you would have done a little bit more, that you could have, maybe made the Ring of Honor. Unfortunately, you didn't do enough, pal. So sorry, career incomplete, I suppose, from that perspective. But, hey, you tried. You gave it your college effort, and that's all we can hope for. So thanks, pal. Yeah. That's it.
Boy Green's words, not mine.
All right, that'll end it for the show. We'll see you tomorrow morning for a Boy Green Daily. Again, Boy Green Meets Wudi is every Tuesday and Thursday live at 3 o'clock. Check it out. Again, we're streaming live on 5 different streaming platforms. The most important one, like and subscribe on YouTube, whether it's Boy Green's channel here or Take Flight Talk. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. Take care, everybody. Peace.